Hello and welcome to a very special episode of Thick Slices and Deep Cuts. This evening is the final episode filmed at this current location. I will hopefully in a few weeks do another episode at the new house, at the new location. But for now, this will be the last episode. So I kind of wanted to go out in style. I kind of wanted to go out with something cool and unique, not like any of the other episodes. So tonight I will be ranking not albums but songs, and specifically the 6 songs from the TIMEGHOUL catalog. So TIMEGHOUL, the cult death metal band of the St. Louis area, which I was so fortunate to be a part of. There's me there at the age of 18, way back when. I was just fortunate enough to be a part of this band for the recording of the second demo, Panoramic Twilight. Anybody that's familiar with the band knows that there were basically 2 demos, 6 songs that were recorded properly, and probably, I can think of off the top of my head at least 3 other songs that were in the works. But I'll go through and rank the 6 songs. In a way, it was tough to do. In a way, it was easy to rank like the top ones, but also it was tough to rank anything because the one I'm ranking 6th is like, all of these songs are just absolute classics to me. So I guess we'll kind of get into it. I guess before we get started, I just got a few odds and ends. I've got this cool laminate. In fact, maybe I'll just wear it for the show. But I'm not sure if this came from the first time I was aware of TIMEGHOUL. I saw them at a concert. It was August of '92. So TIMEGHOUL was the opening band. Then it was Malevolent Creation, then Cannibal Corpse, then Agnostic Front was on this bill, and then Obituary, pretty much at the height of their popularity, was the headliner. It was a really good turnout for the show, and I just remember thinking TIMEGHOUL was really heavy and really dark, and had that nice dichotomy of just doom and blast. Like it was either really super intense and fast, or it was really doomy and heavy. And I thought they were just an awesome band, and I remember just walking away from that show just being blown away. And then fast forward to the very end of 1993, and I'm in a store looking for tapes and CDs, and there's an advertisement at Sound Revolution in Hazelwood on North Lindbergh. And there was an ad that TIMEGHOUL was looking for not 1 guitar player, but 2 guitar players, and I couldn't believe it. And at that point in time, I was not what you would call a skilled guitar player. I was jamming with my buddy TJ. We were neighbors, so we were usually jamming in his garage. We were just kind of learning the riffs from our favorite bands. I remember, speaking of Obituary, that was one of the few bands where I could handle the riffs because they weren't really that complicated or fast. And all I had was a Charvel pawn shop guitar and a 20-watt crate amp. That's all I had. And TJ and I had been kind of mimicking our favorite bands and writing little songs with riffs, and for some reason I had this crazy idea to go out there and actually try out for this band, a legitimate band. These guys were a little bit older and definitely knew how to play their instruments, and it was questionable whether I could really play mine at that point in time. But I showed up with my little 20-watt amp and my pawn shop guitar, and I must have made enough of an impression. I think the key was I could kind of figure out all the technical riffs and memorize them enough, and then over repetition get them down. So for me, being in this band, that first year, certainly the time I was in the band, I came in the band not really knowing how to play the guitar very well, and I came out really pretty good at playing technical guitar. I remember playing in a band after that and thinking it was so easy compared to, the complex, fast riffs and the formats that just were ever changing all the time. So anyway, so there's a little bit of a background. Also, they needed 2 guitar players. Once I got in, I immediately brought TJ out to get in the band, and the rest is history. But okay, we'll get right into it. So 6 songs, all 6 I love, and in fact, I've seen some things that talk about what some people consider the most popular one or two songs. But we'll just go in it. I'm going to start with my number 6 and work it all the way down to my number 1. And then at the end, I'll let you know. I talked to Jeff before this, and I'll let you know what his ranking was. And then hopefully when we're done, hopefully Tony and Mike and even Chad, if you're watching, can weigh in. I'm not sure where TJ is anymore, but so coming in at number 6, and I've got the original J card, so I'm going to use these because we had demo cassettes back in the 90s. But coming in at number 6, I'm going to go with the song off here. I'm going to go with Infinity Coda. This is an excellent track. In picking this number 6, really the only reason I picked it 6th was not that I picked it 6th. I was just picking my 1, 2, and 3, and this just happened to fall to the bottom. It also has probably the fewest lyrics by far, so maybe that was part of it. It's the shortest song. It doesn't quite hit 6 minutes. It's like 5:50. But it's got my favorite tagline in the TIMEGHOUL vocabulary, which is the warp. The warp part, that is so classic in this song. I also like the chorus Infinity Coda, but also there's a mid-pace breakdown towards the back part of the song that's cool. It's got a nice build up to it, and then there's a funny part at the end of it that ends the entire demo, the Quiet Time Boys part. So I do really enjoy that song as well. I just, I'm looking at 6 songs here, and I'm looking at, okay, that's my number 1. Okay, well, if that's not my number 1, then that's 2. Well, that song's also 2. That's 3. Well, you can't forget about this one. So Infinity Coda just happens to find its way to the bottom of the list. But just another excellent song. And again, probably the fewest lyrics of any of the songs. So maybe that's what puts it at the bottom. But so at number 6, I have Infinity Coda from the Tumultuous Travelings demo from '92. Okay, so coming in at number 5, this is possibly a fan favorite, and I love it too. And they just released a shirt for this with this song title on it, and I'm going back to this demo, and I'm going with Gut Spawn at number 5. This song is awesome. What an awesome dark lyrical story tale that Jeff crafted here. So the Gut Spawn, you may understand it from reading the lyrics, but the gut was this thing, was this disgusting, creature, gastric creature thing that would eat things that came near it, and then it would spit them out, and they would be like the children or the spawn of this gut. And so it would eat different people and animals and everything, and it would eat them, and it would spit them back out, and then they would be the spawn of the gut, and then they would go out and bring people and animals and whatever living things they could find back, and they would eat those and spit them out. And it just became a real nuisance for the community from the nearby area. So many, kind of like the King Arthur tale, many men went to try and kill this gut, and they all failed. And finally, your hero gets inside the gut when it's sleeping, goes inside the center of the gut when it's sleeping, and basically kills it from within. And as he's killing it, all the gastric juices are burning through his limbs, and he basically dies inside the gut, but he saves the village or the town or that area from this monstrous gut that just terrorized people and spawned out all of its victims. So, I mean, I think there are some other lyrics that are like maybe make you ponder things like the concepts of infinity or things like that, but I don't think there's another lyrical storyline that's quite as cool as Gut Spawn. So, awesome song. Also, there's the gurgly vocal that comes back. Much like Warp comes back on the next demo, the gurgly thing finds one little moment on the next demo as well. So those are trademark things that came to be on here. Also, I like how the opening rhythm is kind of an upbeat, like an old school thrash, or kind of either fast mid-paced or a slow thrash, but then it doubles. That whole part is just is the best. But So again, I love Guts Vaughn. I love that song, and apparently it's the most popular song in the entire catalog. And but I've got it coming in at number 5. But there you go, awesome song. Guts Vaughn at number 5. Okay, so coming in at number 4, this might be the other popular pick. I'm going with the Panoramic Twilight demo, and the one I was fortunate enough to be a part of. I'm going with Boiling in the Hourglass. I have great memories of just learning these guitar parts, and just being in a band of such a high caliber, and just what it did for me to go from just a novice player to just really knowing how to play technical riffs and play them tight, play them well. So Boiling in the Hourglass is great. I mean, all of these songs are great. This is one of my favorite songs. Again, I have great memories of playing this. I think in the studio we did maybe 2 takes. I feel like we were on such a shoestring budget, it seemed like, or at least we were limited on time. And I just feel like we maybe did 2 takes on this song, and then we did some overdubs later. But yeah, just an awesome song. A long one. So on this demo, I think on Tumultuous the songs are all in that 6-minute range, and they've got a lot of doom parts in them. This is obviously 3-part harmony, 3 guitars this time, and the songs are much longer. Boiling in the Hourglass is 8.5 minutes, and you don't really repeat anything. I think the main first blast verse type riff does come back at the very end, but other than that, there's really no repeating. That's why we had to rehearse these songs over and over again, like classical music. Really almost nothing repeated. It was just one big epic adventure all the way through. It's my understanding that Boiling in the Hourglass is about the idiot savant. So there's, this boy, he's an idiot savant, but he can comprehend infinity that the rest of us mortals can't quite comprehend. And he was somehow able to access the River of Time, where the Timeghoul live. They run up and down. I picture the River of Time kind of like the Grand Canyon. You get this big, the canyon, and way at the bottom of the canyon is this river. And there's just enough of a bank on either side of the river, and the Timeghoul are kind of running around all hunchback up and down the River of Time. Well, basically, he was able to gain access to them, and he just unleashed them all over the River of Time. And they basically caused so much chaos in the future, in the past, in the present, and everywhere in between, and he destroyed the universe. So, again, the concept of infinity in the universe from Infinity sort of pops up again in Boiling in the Hourglass. So, just a really cool song. I have great memories of it. Like I said, I think we recorded it in maybe 2 takes at most. I think we had to start over once, but at any rate, there you go. Number 4, I have Boiling in the Hourglass from the Panoramic Twilight demo. So there you go. We're halfway through, and I've picked half the songs from the first demo, and obviously half from the other demo. So that was fairly intentional. I wanted to balance it all out. These top 3 are so insanely legendary to me. So coming in at number 3, I've got the song Rain Wound from Tumultuous Travelers. So this is the track that leads everything off. This is the first track. Just comes in all heavy and doomy and dark. My bones bleach, for the blazing light of purity. Just an incredible, once more, just incredible lyrical storytelling, such dark storytelling. I was such a fan of the band that even before I really learned how to play these songs, I was so hooked on this demo, and specifically Rain Wound and the other song that I haven't yet mentioned, that I was basically, and TJ as well, we were basically bugging Jeff to let us play those songs. So he ended up reworking a couple of these for 3-part harmonies, but just a great song. I always loved just how powerful Tony's snare. I know it's triggered, but I love how in the opening blast beat. I don't know what Tony's hitting. He said he was just hitting the bell on the ride, but man, it just sounds like you're just hitting like a steel something or other. But it's just an incredible production. That the charm of a low budget production you're just not going to capture at any other time. Yeah, so just the charm on this one. Just based on the writing credits, it looks like this one was written all the way back in '89. So this came out in '92, but this song was apparently, one of the earliest things written. So, just a cool, another excellent track. Rain Moon coming in at number 3. Okay, coming in at number 2. My favorite from Tumultuous Traveling, I'm going with The Siege. I love it. I love The Siege. Obviously, my number 1 isn't going to be on here, but as just being a fan of the band and not being in the band, The Siege is my favorite track. Again, I just love how it's super heavy and brutal and blasting, and then it's just got an incredible doom part and the creepy, clean vocals that come in with Jeff's great, vocals. But I just like how the story is a metaphor for someone going insane. As they breach the walls of the castle with the battering ram to break in, and as they're breaking into the castle with the battering ram, this is, I'm being driven mad. So it's just a big metaphor for someone going insane. But again, just great lyrics, incredible lyrics. I wish, I don't claim to be a great lyricist at all. I wish I had Jeff's talent for storytelling or for at least penning the words the way he does. The way he uses the words to tell a story is pretty remarkable. But The Siege. So again, I remember towards the end of TIMEGHOUL, I remember I have guitar tablature here where we were working up Rain Moon and The Siege in 3-part harmonies. But there you go. At number 2, I have The Siege. So at number 1, by process of elimination, this is probably the most influential song on me personally to this day. Obviously, after TIMEGHOUL, I didn't stop playing guitar, so I continued to write music. And ever since I left TIMEGHOUL, even though I may not play stuff that sounds like TIMEGHOUL, everything I write is in this extended range of 10 minutes or 20 minutes even. Or I even have a 30-minute track, but everything's extended and I don't repeat a lot of riffs. And that's because I was so influenced by my time in the band, and specifically this demo, and even more specifically the song Occurrence on Nemus, which is my number 1 track and the most influential track on me personally of all time. This is a song that starts out with a creepy sci-fi horror type sound, transmission 82094. If you put that together, it's 8/20 of 94. That was the day we were in the studio. And then it comes in with that big grand classical thing. And then it just goes right into it, and nothing repeats. I think the very, very, very last notes of the entire song are the same notes that open the thing. That's it. But it just, what an epic journey. I love this song. Everything about the song is just incredible. The 3-part stuff going on here. It just, Occurrence on Nemus is just, for me, it's just the most complex and advanced and awesome track that TIMEGHOUL ever did, in my opinion. I love all of the counter harmonies. It's one thing to have three guitars to do 3 guitar harmonies, but what I loved about this demo was you had counterpoint guitars. So you just had one guy doing something up here with the high notes and doing a weird pattern that wasn't even really melodic. You had somebody chunk down below, and then you had a middle melody, and you just had all these different things going on. So it wasn't always just a 3-part harmony. It was just a lot of awesome, complex. I mean, I know Jeff wasn't thinking about being progressive. That's the beauty of this album, when you're not trying to be progressive, and it just is. It's just absolutely complex and layered like that. So I just love that the storyline is basically there's several moons of Saturn, and one of the moons is called Mimas. It's got a chunk out of it. Presumably an asteroid hit it at some point in time. Well, Jeff ran with that and made a story that basically there were bands of warring tribes on this moon of Saturn. This asteroid came through and hit that chunk of the moon and brought all of these warring, all these creatures, and it brought it to the Earth, and it hit the Earth, which is now the Himalayan mountains. So underneath the biggest mountain chain on the planet, where this asteroid hit, underneath all that are all these warring tribes that had been dormant underground for so long. Well, they finally awaken from their slumber, and they come up from from underground, and they ravage and kill the whole world until the whole world is dead, and then they go back in underground. So that's basically the gist of that lyrical storyline as well. So I thought that was awesome. So just this demo in particular, and obviously Tumultuous Travelings as well. Just a huge influence on me personally. I was so fortunate to be a part of this band, and it's so amazing to this day. I just got an email from Ted Tringo of Dark Descent Records. It sounds like they're ready to repress some more vinyl here. They keep printing up a few hundred, 300 to 500 copies of vinyl every so often, and they go through it. You see the Digipack CDs. I think there's a dual CD with some bonus stuff on there. There's the Digipack with all 6 songs. This is the dual vinyl with the bonus stuff, and then there's a single vinyl as well. So, these shirts, you got the short sleeve, you get the long sleeve. I've got some hoodies. And then somebody else just released the Gutspawn shirt. I think Tony's got a copy of that. So there you go. And if you don't know the whole storyline here, it's all in the liner notes there as well. But yeah, so real quick to recap. At number 6, I've got Infinity Coda. At number 5, I have Gutspawn. At number 4, I have Boiling in the Hourglass. At number 3, I have Rain Wound. At number 2, I've got The Siege. And at number 1, I have Occurrence on Mimas. Let's see, Jeff's ranking, I think he had Rain Wound. No, I think he had Gutspawn at number 6, Rain Wound at number 5, Infinity Coda at number 4, The Siege at 3, Boiling in the Hourglass at 2, and Occurrence on Mimas at 1. Yeah, I think that's right. So his was Gutspawn, Rain Wound, Infinity Coda, The Siege, Boiling in the Hourglass, and Occurrence on Mimas. Let's see, what else? I think, for anybody who's interested, this is how I began. I just got a tab book and wrote these songs down for Boiling in the Hourglass. There's Occurrence on Mimas. The Siege, with the reworking of The Siege. We were reworking Rain Wound and The Siege when the band ended. We were also working on a song called Joust of the Souls, which was sounding pretty awesome. To Sing with Ghosts, which sounded pretty cool. And then there was another song I wasn't really familiar with. I mean, it's one of these bonus tracks, but the version I got was a little bit different than that. Called The Digger. And that sounds cool. It's very much in the Tumultuous Traveling vein. So I think Mike probably wrote a lot of it. And I was doing some overdubs on that, not knowing that it was The Digger. But having fun with that and thinking, man, this is awesome. It sounds so much like Tumultuous Traveling. And then finding out, yeah, that is, like, the song came to me, it wasn't even labeled. So I didn't even know it was The Digger. But there were a few tracks out there that would have been nice to re-record a track like The Digger and do it in a tumultuous fashion. And then do Joust of the Souls and To Sing with Ghosts more in the panoramic Twilight fashion. And then maybe revisit Rain Wound and Siege. Who knows? But so that pretty much covers it. But I just wanted to do something special for this final episode here. And instead of just ranking just another band or whatnot, I definitely wanted to touch on the TIMEGHOUL songs. And I think that covers it. Oh, the banner. I don't know. I think that's the only banner I have. I think somebody just threw that in. Probably Ted Tringo of Dark Descent Records just threw that in one time. But I think that covers it. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in a few weeks. I will see you next time. Thanks.